Another week in the books.
Reminder that all content warnings are with the longer write-up on my website.
First up, I finished off Beneath the Cursed Veil. A big thank you to the Nerd Fam for the advanced reader copy of the ebook. This one was like candy to any big readers of the romantasy genre. In fact, the female main character is a big reader of the genre herself. This leads to a lot of really fun fourth wall moments when we brush up against some of our well-loved tropes. And there are many of them, things like forced proximity, enemies to lovers, we have the fated mates, we have the only one bed. The list goes on. On top of that, we've got some really great characters. My personal favorite, being a Sabrina the Teenage Witch fan, was the cat that reminded me so much of Salem with all his snark. It's got some excellent spice in it and some very sweet lines in there as well. I'm definitely going to be waiting for the next one. This one will be out on April 25th, and the second one is already scheduled for release, thankfully, on June 13th. Second up was A Song of Silver and Gold. Now, this book I purchased from a small independent publisher that I love supporting. They're called Midnight Meadow. They are queer and neurodivergent owned and primarily operated. Now, I am an absolute sucker for a sapphic pirate story, and this isn't even the first one I have bought from this publisher. When my packages from them show up, they are absolutely gorgeous. Take a look at these pictures that I took when these ones showed up. This story is a retelling of The Little Mermaid, and as always, the masquerading as a human is a fantastic allegory for living in the closet. In this one, however, instead of a mermaid, we have a siren who has given up her singing voice in exchange for legs to walk on land, and she's not seeking a lost love, she is after revenge. This is a true enemies to lovers. It's very rare that I see this much animosity in the beginning and don't see any weird accelerations in the relationship. Everything still has a very natural progression as they're getting to know one another and learning about them as people instead of just an idea. I was also really enamored with the world building in this one. Every city and port they enter has its own distinct flavor, and they even have individual neighborhoods with separate influences. It was an extremely rich world that you could really see yourself walking through. However, a little bit of that realism got lost because the author was not as intimately familiar with life aboard a ship as I happen to be. If you're a layman, you'll probably overlook those details. If you are intimately familiar with that kind of thing, it might pull you out of the story for a second. The only other issue I had with this is it could have probably used one more proofread. There were things like commas out of place and some words were substituted strangely, but I loved it, and I'm definitely looking forward to the second one, which is already on my shelf. And my third book of the week was Restored. This one is going to be coming out on May 2nd, currently available for pre-order. In this one, our female main character has magical healing powers. She would consider her powers a gift if it hadn't meant she had spent almost her entire life in the captivity of a tyrant king who wanted to use these powers for his financial gain. When she's abducted by the prince of a neighboring kingdom who also wants to use her powers, it puts everyone she loves in danger at the mercy of the king. This was another enemies to lovers that really did have fantastic animosity at the beginning. However, our female main character is thirsty. So when their relationship does make some jumps ahead, it actually makes sense with her character. This one is very fast-paced with a lot of great action in it, well choreographed fight scenes, large battles, high-speed chases on horseback. It was a lot of fun. The creatures that they face along their journey are really innovative and terrifying. Anybody who likes playing a healer class in games is gonna like seeing the healer front and center on this one. Again, this is a book with some really great spice in it. I will say the ending is absolutely gonna leave you aching for the next one, and we don't have a date on that yet, but it is coming soon. That's all we know. Today, I'm going to be starting Hazelthorn, which I've been extremely psyched for. I loved the author's last book, which was Don't Let the Forest In. As always, there is a longer write-up of all of this available on my website at writing.hallidaynelson.com. I want to know what you are reading too. No matter how tall my TBR pile gets, I'm going to let it keep growing. So I want to know what you are having fun with. Happy reading!